have 3 people here with us, and do we have anyone online, Dina?
No.
Public comment?
I am here to listen
I
today.
don't know why it's so fuzzy.
Bill?
Anything I have to say could be said in relation to items on the agenda if we have an opportunity.
You will, thank you. And you're here also to lead us down the garden path, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so we will move on to the second item on the agenda, which is the Energy Committee recommendation for a library heat pump. Jim, you have the floor.
Thank you. Shout out to Scott Nichols from ARC Mechanical, who has worked diligently with me to make sure we can get something in there that we have money to pay for. And so you've seen the third iteration of this bid in front of you. The total cost, which includes the electrician, which they will provide to install these and get them up and running, is $35,000. We qualify, those 3 heat pump units qualify for $1,072.50 from New Hampshire Saves. And according to Dina, we have $33,300 in the fund that you recall was originally raised 3 years ago to put PV on the fire station.
Mm-hmm.
And in its conclusion, we'll have put PV on the library and 3 heat pumps in there. That leaves us with a balance of $627.50, and I think that you also get copies of the library trustee meeting where they agreed to use up to $1,000 of their money from the Friends of the Library to cover the difference.
Well, that sounds pretty complete.
Yes. So the Energy Committee recommends we move forward with the ARC mechanical bid. Scott and I met with Judy and talked about placement of both the indoor units and the outdoor compressors, and she's fine with all that. So, any questions? It'll be nice to finally be able to thank all those donors.
Yes,
Sound like you've done a good, thorough job.
Nice work.
yes,
Yeah.
I concur.
Home with it.
Thank you, David.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ben. All those in favor say aye.
Then I-
David, I.
Judy, aye. Approved, so you are approved for the project and the money as you detailed it.
And the contract needs to be signed.
Okay. Excellent, really hard work, I know it was frustrating,
Long time
but,
coming. Thank you. So Dina has the next steps, which includes the signed proposal. Under the electrical work, ARC will provide those electricians, and that cost is in there. And then there's a deposit, and I don't know, the last thing on his list is a permit. I don't think we require a permit for heat pumps in the library, but,
It's inside or outside?
well, their compressors are outside.
well, you could, since you're here,
You should, yeah. just
David
ask.
Robbins is in this morning,
Okay,
and you
I'll
can
go
pop
ask
over
him.
and ask him.
Okay.
Better safe than sorry.
Yes.
We'd hate to chase you down.
Or have a complaint.
Yes, that'd be even worse.
Do you need a pen?
Yeah, where do we sign?
Right there on that line, you'll have to squish it.
Down underneath this one?
Yes, you're accepting.
And I guess my final, I guess it's a reminder, Dina, that when they originally bid, of course, like any contractor, they give you 30 days to
Mhm.
guarantee that, and Scott pushed it back, so we're 2 days past the 30. He said, fine, but hopefully we don't have to, we can get that right out to them.
We get what right out?
The
The
contract.
contract.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The deposit.
A deposit, now that's a different story.
How much is the deposit?
It's 33% of the,
Okay,
So 10 grand, more or less.
more or less, yep.
So the board, you'll need to, vote to approve that amount so that I can, because I've already done the manifest for this week, so it wouldn't be another one for 2 weeks, so.
Right. I'll move that we approve the payment of a deposit on this contract in the amount of 1/3 of the total bid amount.
Yep.
I'll second that.
all those in favor say aye.
Then
Dave and I,
Judy, aye. Okay. So
Thank you.
plus or minus $10,000, right? Is that
Yeah.
what we heard?
and this is all, none of this is funded by taxpayers, this is all funded by contributions.
Donations, yeah.
Yep.
Great, thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
Talk to
Thank you
David.
for doing all the hard work.
You're very welcome.
Good job, Jim.
Bye, Jim.
Bye.
I'll copy you and all that.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. All right.
Super.
We have minutes to approve from September 2nd, and there were some edits that came through. What do we wish to do with the minutes?
I'll move them.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All
Ben,
those
aye.
in favor say aye, and Judy, aye. They are approved. Oh, good, good. I had just something to bring up off of those minutes, Dina. What can we do to get the crosswalk lines painted?
We're working on it.
Can I take a roller down there sometime at midnight and run it
No,
across
no,
the
you
street?
can't. No, you can't. It's really unfortunate that the whole, when the fire guys had theirs done, that
Yep.
it wasn't a,
Can you remind me what the ballpark figure, what the amount was to put in that lighted sign of the crosswalk that
About
we asked?
20, it's about
Lon County?
it was
25.
like 24 something, I think,
Yeah.
yeah, 25,000.
Do we have anything?
Well, I just got the projections as to where we are. And what I usually do, I'm pretty tight at the end of the year, but I go through and try and pick from each department that has something left over and make a bundle. So
It's too early to do that, though.
it's a little too early to
It's
do it
too
now,
early,
but
because-
yes, we definitely, we all voted that we were going to do it as soon as we found the funds, so.
I was just thinking about individually making a contribution to the town to assist with that, but I wondered how much that would need to be. Like,
Right now, it would need to be a lot, but give me a couple of weeks to play with the budget and see where we are and see if there's some leeway somewhere.
Yeah, I will warn you, this year is, I'm already extremely nervous, excuse me, my allergies are acting up, about the budget, because there's money in there that's, committed, and we're already at
33, 32.
33% or
Yeah.
something, and so,
It's tight. Phil?
A question about whether any of the trust funds might help with this money.
For
I'm not
us-
sure, there's a highway reserve, there's an emergency repairs reserve. I don't know if any of those legally might be used towards this.
I don't think so. It certainly may be worth another look at all of those categories.
Yeah.
But we have to be pretty straight and narrow with when you apply for it, but that's a good suggestion. Okay. Where are we? Manifest. Uh-oh, I wrote down that number, but I left it at home on my desk.
well, you just wait 1 minute, I can tell you.
I'll move it.
Okay, then, I'll second it, but let's not vote for it till we have a number.
$53,998.62.
Sorry, guys,
$53,998.62.
I was pretty diligent about doing the stuff that Dina sent out over the weekend, but I haven't had a chance to look at this, so I'm gonna abstain from this.
Okay,
You guys can approve it
we'll
without me.
approve it. Ben, how do you vote?
Ben, aye.
And Judy, aye, so we approve it and we have an abstention.
Who moved it? I'm sorry. Judy.
Ben moved it, I seconded it, okay.
Doesn't have to go to Dave, go back to Judy.
I tell you, slide it over here and let me just look at it.
I also have this manifest that is from the police, new vehicle, that was a capital reserve, that was voted at town meeting, so, and the check was needed ASAP, so.
Okay,
I
Cadillac.
filled that out.
So you're getting Cadillacs now?
No, it's a Chevy, but it's bought at the Cadillac place.
okay, so we have a second manifest for the police department
Correct.
vehicle, and what's that number?
$2,979.
$29,000.
Oh, that's it, where am I? That's the bottom line.
29,000 and
Oh,
something.
over here.
Sorry.
We better give it to you, guy.
Could you say the number again, please?
Hang on, it's way more than that, so. It's $52,979.
Thank you.
And that is the state bid, standard price.
It's from yep, it's a,
Yeah.
whatever you call it,
52,979.
particular place.
Okay, I will move this manifest,
I'll second it.
and Ben, and all those in favor, say aye.
Then
David?
Yeah, David.
Judy, aye. It's approved.
What's this for?
See, I know. Since town meeting voted it, you can't not buy it,
yeah, no, I,
can't not
Plus
buy
that
it.
$5,000 or so for all the other crap later.
Thank you. Okay,
Question. This is coming out of the vehicle capital reserve fund.
Yes. For 25, yeah.
okay. We have a note, oh yes, we have a piece of paper, well, actually, we had an email that Dina got and I got. Same email having to do with a request from an individual who has compiled, their own work, compiled a list of all the town elected officers with descriptions of what each position is. And they've asked us to put it on the town's webpage. I suggested that I thought it would be more appropriate, since we didn't compile it, that it go on the listserv. And that way you probably get more people, because a lot of people don't go to the town webpage. But definitely, neither Dina nor I felt confident just throwing it up on the webpage.
Well, and I'll tell you, my only hesitation about it coming out from our office is that it's various people who have held the offices that have given information, and, you know, it's not just a description per RSA of the things, so,
Yeah, before this goes up, it'd have to be reviewed real carefully and, you
yeah.
know, it's like 6, 8 pages, something I didn't have time
Yeah, me either, I haven't read the whole thing, but
to fly
there were
back.
a couple of things I saw that jumped out, but,
I did scan the whole thing, it did look like a lot of it did come from the, what the municipal association puts out about positions in towns, but I still feel, this individual did a lot of work, and
I
it
know.
would be great to have it out there, but I would much rather see it go up on the listserv, and maybe,
we could encourage that person to put it out on the listserv.
yep, and they might wanna do it a couple times if they do it now, because sign up isn't until end of December or early
Right.
January, so.
yeah, I think anything you can do to get people interested is a good thing.
And, I mean, this may be appropriate for inclusion on the website and for our adoption as a statement of the town, but we'd have to look at it and spend some time at. sort of scrubbing it and making sure that it's,
Right.
we're comfortable with everything that's in there, and it's just a lot of stuff, so.
It is a lot of stuff, yeah, pretty detailed.
Well, I can thank him for doing all the
Yeah.
hard work, and again, I think it's a great document, but put it out on the,
Let's
have
make
him
the
put it on the
suggestion that he
listserv,
put it on the listserv, and then,
And we'll continue to study
and
it.
that you
Yeah.
guys will continue to look at it, and we'll go
That
from
would be
there.
great.
Okay, perfect.
Judy,
yes,
Phil, and I both have comments, but go ahead, Phil.
It would be good to have such an official list that's approved on the website, just so people could actually know what offices are and what their duties are and et cetera. I understand that that's a project, but I think this person initiating it, and I have no idea who this person is, initiates a task that would be good for the town eventually. Second of all, I think the same thing ought to be done for town positions. What are they, what are the salaries, what are the duties? Again, I think that these are things that people don't know. We're looking for a second employee. It would be good to have up on the website, sort of standard business practice. This is,
yeah, yeah.
Well, we don't generally post salaries on the
No,
website.
we don't do that.
Oh,
But
okay,
we
yeah,
could
gotcha,
do a lot of the rest of it.
yeah.
Okay.
Who's the person who put this together?
John Campbell.
John Campbell. Would you, any
He's
idea,
associated with Dartmouth.
do we know what his motivation was in doing this?
Just information,
He's
I
on the
think.
library board.
I think
Wait,
No, he's a good guy.
he was looking forward to getting more participation.
Yes, and he and I were connected with the document that we have on the website, that's a senior document. And so he helped add some stuff to that, and we got updated, so, and I think from just
He's
him
a,
being curious, he decided to do this.
Distinguished Emeritus Professor of Sociology at Dartmouth, just recently retired, starting to get involved in town business. He's on the library board.
Excellent.
Thoughtful gentleman.
Yep, no, I had a great conversation with him a while back. I'm sure this took a lot of time. Rich?
The suggestion that I make is if you wanted to put it on the web, the listserv, it would be a shame if there was something that were grossly incorrect there.
Yes.
So maybe it's not good enough to put on the town website, but certainly if you could review it and say, yeah, this is substantially correct, and then even use that as a framework for going through with a fine-tooth comb and saying, yeah, this is approximating a job description for elected officials, but,
I agree with that. If there's
Yes.
an error in here, a material error, then it's not good to have it on the list.
Right,
Yeah.
no, I agree
Right,
with that,
yeah.
and by the time we go through in a cursory fashion, you've spent quite a bit of time, and then you gotta go back and really study it, but let us work on it, see where we are.
Right.
We're just, as you know, coming into budget season, which takes,
I do know that,
A
yes,
whole
it's
lot of
tomorrow,
time.
isn't
Somehow
it?
several of us are gonna be in that meeting. I don't
yes,
understand it.
that's a call.
Yeah, it's definitely worth reviewing and seeing if you can
Yep.
make sure things are factual, or stick to just the RSAs or descriptions or something,
Mhm.
and have it end up there.
Well, one
I
of the,
think.
yeah, and a really good review is that, the manual that the municipal association puts out, and they talk about the key areas, but board to review as time allows, okay. And we have 2 intents to cut. Map 407, lot 60.2, Johnson. Map 401, lot 13, a supplemental for Downs. Ben, have you had a chance to look at those?
I don't have them here.
They're here.
That one, well, we don't have any say
Catherine Lane,
As long as
and
your taxes are paid.
It says tax base on the top
Right.
of each one of them.
That's right.
Yeah, these are fine.
okay. What do we wish to do?
I'll move 'em.
with those?
I'll second.
Thank you, David, thank you, Ben, all those in favor?
Then I,
David, aye.
Judy, aye. Ben, approved. Okay. Review the information for the veterans credit changes. We will be having a public hearing on this at our next meeting at the end of September. I tried to go through and figure this out. And the information that I was reading was not helpful.
Yeah, it was.
And
You want an easy synopsis?
yes, easy and brief.
Okay. So, the nitty gritty of it is that, the regular general standard veterans credit, which in the town of Lyme is $500.
Mm-hmm,
And then there's the disability credit in the town of Lyme, which is $2,000. The DRA has decided that you cannot have both. If
an
you are-
individual person cannot
If you are
have
a,
both.
if you are a disabled veteran, you have to choose. You either get the disability credit or the standard.
Okay,
So, in a nutshell, that's what it all means.
and,
Your assessor is recommending, and you certainly don't have to go with this, but actually, and the, who was it I talked to at the DRA, Stephanie, I think her name was. She said that what you could do is change the amount of the disability credit to
mhm.
$2,500. You can go
Ah,
anywhere
I
from
see what you're saying.
700 to 4,000 if you want.
Is it
but you
4 or
could-
5,000 now?
It's 2,000 now.
I mean, what, maximum
Maximum.
amount of optional tax credit for service-connected total disability may be adopted up to $5,000.
According to the info I got, it was up to 4,000, but
Okay,
either way.
this is,
What you can do to make it
okay,
easy, so they're not losing anything, yeah, the RSA says 4,000, but, so you're not losing anything, is the 2,000, add the 5 to it, so their disability credit would be $2,500.
and the only veterans that would qualify for that would be disabled veterans.
Correct, correct.
So we still have some veterans credit just for serving.
You still have the 500 for just serving, and then you have the 2,500 you would have for a disabled veteran.
And do we have the authority to do this as a board, or does it have to go to town meeting?
That's why you're having a public hearing on it, because it has to go to town meeting.
That makes total sense.
So I just wanted everybody to sort of learn about it, know about it,
How,
and then
how many people in the town of Lyme approximately does this affect?
5, I think it's 5 or 6.
So what's proposed, you can put it up to $5,000 is my understanding, do you know what we
I don't
currently
know where
have
this
this
came
for?
from, yeah. Is it in this?
I went online, I had a highlighted area and said, go here to read more.
Interesting, because on the one that they sent out,
It's currently
It says-
4,000.
under that RSA, yeah, the credit for service-connected total disability is 701 up to 4,000.
Mhm.
Well, it doesn't matter,
So,
we're not.
either way, you're not.
Either way.
Yeah, right, I don't know. Maybe there's something else they could get it.
And this is just a tax credit, right, so it only, it's
It
not a
comes off.
refundable credit, so it just reduces their taxes. If their tax is less than $2,500, then they get whatever it is to reduce their tax to 0.
They don't get
They don't get the money
the
back.
leftover
Yeah.
money, right, that's right. And it doesn't come off the assessed value like an exemption does. It comes off the
Okay,
tax value.
There's nothing for us to do about it, right?
Well, what you need to do is for your public hearing, I would say, have some sort of a, or even now, some sort of a recommendation of the amount, and then you take feedback from the public at your public hearing as to whether they think it should be 25,000, or, 2,500, or 3,000, or
So
4,000, or,
the people who are affected by this in the town of Lyme, do you have any kind of a sense about what their tax bill is usually?
not off the top of my head.
I mean, cause if you told me that they're all paying,
But-
$1,200, $1,500, then it doesn't matter, they're all gonna be down to zero. If we've got people who
Yeah,
have big tax bills, then.
Yeah, they're all over that, I can tell you that, I know that, they're all over that figure. And because it's not, and it's not about, their, whether they're well off or not,
Mhm.
that has nothing to do with it. They're either disabled and they get this, and they could have $1 million house,
Yeah.
for all we know.
Well, you know what, though, it'd be interesting to hear from the people who are affected by this too, cause you might have people who say, look, it's fine, I don't want that, I don't need that. Depends on, I guess, where they are.
I can't imagine none of them would say they don't need it. They're disabled, they probably feel they deserve it, which they do. It's just the amount, I think, that's really what needs to be
In my head,
thought about.
2,500 is a no-brainer. The
Yeah.
question is, should we go higher than that?
Correct.
And,
Well, and I think we might hear from the public at the public hearing.
Right.
Because,
Well, let's
There was-
propose a number and see
Yep.
what happens at the public hearing.
Yeah, people are usually very passionate
sympathetic about,
about saying, oh, maybe 3 would be better. or-
Yeah, well, let's say 2,500 and see what they respond.
okay, I'm good with that. Are you good with that, David?
yeah, sure.
You folks wanna chime in?
So I guess just for clarity, the veteran credit remains at 500,
Mm-hmm.
but the disabled credit, totally independent piece, goes to 2,500.
Yep.
Because you can no longer have both.
Correct.
Yeah. That-
So what we're
Easy
proposing
to
would be
explain.
neutral.
Would be giving them
Well,
both.
we would be giving them what they had before,
Yeah.
Right.
but there is the option to go higher than that.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yep. Okay. Good. And if you do read through the whole thing, there is a place at the very end where they have a website that you can go to, which is what I
Yes.
printed,
Yeah,
which is somewhat more clear than yours.
legislative section.
Okay, next up,
Their ordinance.
yes,
All right, so I drafted something, which I sent out to you guys, I think.
You
It's
did.
1 page. Let me go through and highlight a couple things if you don't mind.
please do.
Okay, so first of all, my approach in drafting this was I looked at the 7 or 8 different sample bear ordinances, and I took, I sort of stole from those, plagiarized those to create this. A number of the existing ordinances also have a prohibition on animal baiting. I did not include that in here, but I could if that's something we wanna add, or if that's something that there's an interest in. The prohibition on animal baiting basically is a provision that says you're not allowed to feed wild animals.
Mhm.
I presume, although I didn't see it in any of the ordinances that I looked at, that you would wanna draft an exclusion for people who wanna put out bird feeders and such.
I-
Otherwise, as drafted, the ordinances that I looked at would prohibit that.
Yeah,
But I don't know, we were just talking about a bear ordinance, that isn't really a bear ordinance, that's something else, and so I
well, and it
left
seems
out.
like that falls under fish and game and
Right.
should not be
Yeah.
individually regulated town by
All right,
town.
so it's not in here. The other thing I wanna just highlight is that there's a whole section in this ordinance, and it was in all of the ordinances that I looked at, that says, so the way these ordinances were set up to function was, if you violate the ordinance, there's a fine. And the fine ranged in the sample ordinances that I had from $100 to $500. I just put $250 in brackets. But then, and we could decide what we want the fine to be, it could be higher or lower, I guess. Then the other thing that and this is, I just copied this from the other ordinances, because I don't know how this works or what it, it was new to me. But all of the ordinances have this civil forfeiture thingy, which you'll see is the penultimate paragraph in this. And what that says is, if you if you're charged with violating this ordinance, you can go in and instead of paying the $250 or $100 or whatever the fine is, you can just pay $25 within 48 hours of getting getting the notice, and then you won't be prosecuted, and so basically it takes the fine down to $25 as long as you come in and pay it right away to the town clerk. And then there's some stuff about, well, and if the second time you do that civil forfeiture amount goes up to $50, and then if you do that more than 3 times, then you can't benefit from civil forfeiture anymore.
You have to go to court.
I don't know what any of that crap is.
Is that a technical term?
Yeah, I don't know, that was in, this exact paragraph was in every bear ordinance that I looked at, so I included it in here, but we should definitely have our town attorney look at this and tell us that this works and that it makes sense and that it's the appropriate way to do this. If we wanna do this at all, I presumably we could just leave it out and just charge the penalty, and, and I don't know what the implications of that are either. Maybe that means that we have to go to court to collect the penalty if the person doesn't voluntarily pay, or, I don't know, but, so.
Or maybe you decide not to do a bear ordinance at all.
Yeah, or maybe we
That's one
decide.
thing you need to
That,
decide
yeah,
today.
and this is also gonna be part of the,
Yeah,
public hearing.
I look, I'm not advocating that we do this or not, I'm just saying, what I drafted, this is what it is.
Yep.
And, I presume we'll get feedback from people in town about this. I suppose, right now, the way this is drafted, it applies to domestic and commercial refuse. I suppose that we could, maybe if town council tells us that we're allowed to do this, we could have it apply to just commercial refuse. I tweaked some of these things a little bit just because I thought that what I saw didn't make a lot of sense. All of the ones that I saw just applied to all refuse, and they said all refuse has to be stored in this and I thought, that doesn't make sense to me. If somebody's rebuilding their garage and they have a dumpster out in front of their house where they've got,
old boards and
old boards
shingles.
and they shouldn't have to put a bear-proof thing on that.
Right.
So I modified this to say, all domestic and commercial refuse containing food or otherwise likely to be attractive to wild animals must be stored in one of the following.
Yep, that
That's
makes
original
sense.
drafting, but I think that should be okay, but one way or another, we should have Laura or whoever, the person at Mitchell Municipal, look at this and make sure that none of the changes I made are, for some obscure reason, impermissible, and also to make sure that this civil forfeiture stuff is appropriate and works.
Ben?
Yeah, it's all about food scraps, and
Mm.
smell. I think it's beneficial to have it. Bears learn from people their bad habits. And it, may start with free-ranging chickens or bird feeders, and slowly progresses to garbage, and they're attracted by smells. There's plenty of bears in town. The population of bears in town is probably, we got, 58 square miles or something like that. It's
Yeah, somewhere.
probably close to 50 bears in town. It's a matter of time before one of them finds a smelly dumpster. It will will happen over and over again. It happens throughout the state. The biggest problems in the state are bird feeders and unsecured garbage, have been for years. Again, anything we can do to make the public aware, even if it's an ordinance, is doing something so you're not creating bears that are become attached to those high-quality foods. Those foods, and you know, they can be as much as 10 times the caloric value of the natural foods. And the bear's natural foods, if there was a consistent natural food supply, there wouldn't be a problem, but there isn't. There are years when there's no fall mast, no summer mast, and that's when bears take greater risk to find the food they need to raise their cubs and survive. I've watched this for my entire career working with bears and working with the Fish and Game Department, and people are the dumbest pucks on earth when it comes to trying to educate them. It just, you know, it's like herding cats.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Ben.
And they can't, you know, they can't connect the dots.
Yeah. Phil?
The civil forfeiture procedure is very similar to what New York State used to have for speeding tickets. You know, instead of paying the full fine, if you didn't give them the hassle of going to court, you know, you could pay a certain scheduled amount and be done with it.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I just had never seen it before, and I didn't know if there are
Yeah.
legal restrictions somewhere in the New Hampshire statutes
Right.
on what you can do or how it has to work, so.
Right. And if you do it again and again, then they're gonna say, no, you have to come on in and we'll
Finally.
talk about it, yep.
Yeah, right.
My comment would be, Ben, what you just said was fabulous, do you remember? About, as a preamble to this, I think it would be great to have that paragraph, 2 bullet points. Bears don't like to come into town, but they get a lot of food, a really high food energy from bird feeders and from dumpsters. And so, first off, to the townspeople, please,
Don't do it.
don't do it. And then second, we're gonna talk about this, and I think it's your intent that you would be happy not to have this if everybody got their act together
Oh, yeah.
and didn't do it. And so, I think that's good, and I think, as I think about what you're gonna say to the town, having 2 messages go out on the list. Public hearing, veteran credit and disability credit, tax credit, public hearing, bear ordinance, and then a little paragraph above each, and then a link to the website to say. I mean, that would be a really good way to attract people's attention.
Just so you
Hopefully
know,
get some folks wander in here.
clarity, the bear ordinance is not having a public hearing.
It's just having a
It's
discussion.
just having a, right. a
Oh,
public
interesting.
But it's
Okay.
it's the same day.
Same
It is
meeting,
the
right,
same day,
yes.
Just because I thought more people would be there.
Oh, yeah.
I may be mistaken about this, but it is my impression at least that if you look at the problem or the issue right now in the town of Lyme, that this is predominantly not a question of individual households leaving garbage out. That it is predominantly, the problem arises as a result of 1 or 2 commercial establishments that have high volumes of food garbage that
Right.
is stored, that is left out in a way that is
Mhm.
accessible to wild animals. So, anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe that's wrong, I don't know, Ben, if you have the factual.
Well, and there are some, definitely some open dumpsters with food in them from business establishments.
Right.
And they've had bears for years. I mean, as long as I can remember, I've been addressing these questions.
So, I mean, one thing you could do to make this statute more targeted and less, you know, I don't know what, as history demonstrates I have a very bad sense about what's gonna push buttons in the town. But one thing you could do to tailor this back would be to remove the domestic and just have it apply to commercial establishments. Assuming that our town council tells us we can do that.
Do that, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder though, because that seems so
Well, yeah.
narrowly targeted, but I personally, when I first moved to town, we bought, I call it Tupperware, but it's not, but one of those plastic garden sheds. And we had a big metal garbage can in there that would put our garbage bags in, close the lid.
How long did that work?
Well, not very long. And it took about 3 times. First, they wrecked the garden shed
Mhm.
completely. If they couldn't get in, they just jumped on it till it fell apart. And then it didn't take them but a nanosecond to open the lid, which I struggled with every time. And off went the garbage all over the yard. So that was a very quick learning curve. But people, I think unless you experience it, you can be kind of blind to it.
Well, you know, that's, bears are the best teachers. And you know, the power of a bear trying to get, I set up a film one time, when we started, Debbie had stored some sunflower seeds in a big steel container, and I put 4-inch C-clamps in 3 positions holding that top on, and I put a camera on. Bear came up, put his paw on one of those C-clamps and went pop! The C-clamp bent like that, and he got the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, is there a New Hampshire statute that prohibits feeding? Leave aside the accidental, I left my garbage out, the bear got it. I just like bears and I wanna see them in my backyard, and so I put bear food out.
$1,000 fine.
You know, so,
But-
so we don't have to deal with that.
Well, the trouble is you know, everybody has a legislator and everybody has someone to bitch to, and the only one that doesn't is the bear. And, you know, so you go, the state's always hesitant on finding somebody, and they don't find somebody until it's really becomes a big problem, and then they will take action, but it's not, it's pervasive that they don't.
All right, but generally speaking, there's already a legal prohibition on feeding wild animals,
Yeah, that's-
other than birds. I
They'll
presume.
take your hunting license and might not fine you,
No, not
but
for,
if you get
not
caught
for,
feeding,
But that's for baiting,
that's
presumably.
for bait,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
that's
talking
for
about,
hunting.
for
over-
baiting.
Yeah,
That's
illegal
right,
hunting
bait,
over
huh?
bait. But as far as feeding in your backyard, and, I mean,
There are
there-
dates when you can and there are dates when you can't. And,
as
Hunting,
far as hunting, but you can't,
well, for feeding,
no, you
I
can't
don't
feed
think so.
wild animals.
Yeah.
yes, you can. In this state, you can feed deer, at least I know.
Oh, but
There's a
that's,
time,
oh, interesting.
so you have to go to those regulations and find them.
But bear you can't feed?
well, there is a law against feeding them, but again,
It's not enforced, I
it's not
understand.
enforced.
It's hard to enforce that. Phil, did you have a?
Yeah, 2 things quickly. I might suggest 7 days rather than 2, just pragmatically. Sometimes it's a lot to be able to get together and run to the town offices within a day or 2 if you have a busy life. The second thing being that a prior resident of the home next to us brought me over there one day to show me a heavy cast iron bird feeder pole that had been completely bent in half and the feeder knocked off and of course the seeds eaten. I'd say to leave this applying to commercial, to a residential also,
You would think that would be
yeah,
more efficacious.
yeah.
I think to tag on to that, I think the residential, oh my God, I left my bird feeder out into April. Well, your bird feeder's in the back wood line and it's all mangled and it's like, that's sort of self-correcting.
Well, you know, people don't understand that one tubular bird feeder full of black oil sunflower seeds is 20,000 calories.
Really.
And that's what bears need per day during hyperphagia, getting ready to go to bed for the winter. But bears will eat as much as they can any time of the year because they have to store that fat.
Right.
And,
Ah.
you know, I've suggested, and there's a whole industry on making bird feeders and supplying bird seed, and so you're fighting that as well. I've suggested, and it works, I have a friend who lives down in Massachusetts, and in a heavily residential area that was having bear problems, and I said, you know, all animals can tell time. When you wanna see birds, make a platform, put a little handful of seed out there that they can eat while you're watching, and put it out there and the birds will come. And they do,
Mhm.
and that's all you need to put out, so there's nothing left there. But if you're hanging these tubes full of birds, you're feeding bears, period.
Right, or wait till they go to bed.
Or wait till they go to
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
When-
And the state issues statements every year, bring your bird feeders. And it's not like you have to call me to find out if it's safe to put your bird feeders out.
Yeah, as drafted, the ordinance as I drafted it, I don't think applies to bird feeders at all. It just
It
talks
doesn't
about
seem-
refuse.
It does talk about refuse.
Right.
So, and I don't know if you wanna get into that or not, people like to have bird feeders.
We might have a hard time with the police
I-
department wanting to enforce it.
I think that might be a little bit, if you wanna do it, you might have a good chance of people agreeing that it's okay. If you
Yep.
get it too much regulated into the nitty-gritty, the minutia, I think you're gonna lose your support, so.
Yeah, which we might not have anyways.
Right, exactly.
And, I mean, I think the other thing too is there's a public peer pressure that, wait, Fred, there's a bear going up and knocking over your garbage.
Mhm.
Put your garbage someplace else.
Yeah,
Sorry, my first reaction is, how dare you tell me where to put my garbage?
Yeah, well, okay,
And I'll keep picking it up if I want to. I mean, that's, sorry to say, but that's some of the reactions that you are going to get.
Yes, you will hear.
I've already heard some.
okay. This is the live free or
What-
die
what-
state, so.
Exactly, what are they
None,
trying to
none
tell
of us
me?
ever get oppositional, I don't know what you mean.
I just want David to be prepared.
Oh, I don't have a dog in this fight.
Well, again, the only thing, it'll create a discussion point and,
Mhm.
Mhm, yep.
and people can, which is helpful, I mean, at least.
Right,
I like the suggestion that we've had, to do a little paragraph with the two things, the public hearing and this discussion draft, and get it out, probably maybe a week or so before the next.
Yep.
The next,
Great.
meeting, and then hopefully we'll get a bunch of people, and we've still got Zoom, so people can Zoom in.
Yeah.
Did you, I must have made a note of it somewhere in Lawson, you had a suggestion that we might be able to, might be a good idea to get changed, that would allow the town to offer abatements.
Yes.
Yeah, with that, we need to talk to somebody at the legislative or the governor's office to.
And I never looked into it because I was waiting to see if.
No, that's something for the
if you
Killen
were-
Bear Center.
Yeah, but
Oh,
if
okay.
you write that down for me, the governor's coming to visit on the 26th,
Okay,
and I can hand it to him.
okay, I'll write something up.
That'd be great. Thank you, David. Thank
Well,
you,
that's
Ben.
a Killen Bear
That's-
Center thing.
That's all right. It,
Well,
every little bit helps.
we're not allowed to do political lobbying, but that we can.
Okay, thank you. Do we need to take a formal action, or we're gonna go forward with this discussion on this? Do we need to formalize that?
I think you just need to formalize that the draft is ready to go out to the public.
He wants.
Has it been looked at by council? I would feel better if, I mean, how long do you think that'll take?
I don't know.
I mean, I hate to send it out to the public for them to comment on and then have have it turn out that there's something in here that
Right. Well,
doesn't work.
now that you've decided to move forward, if that's what you've decided to do.
I would suggest we have it
Send
reviewed by
it to-
council before we
Okay,
start.
let's review by council. If they can do it, we will, in quickly, then we can still have a discussion on the 30th. If not, we'll bump it out another
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I'm
should
good with
by the
that.
30th.
Ben, are you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's a consensus.
Yep.
Discuss, okay. Next on our agenda, one last straggler for an exempt
Oh, goodness,
application.
yes. Get it done.
This will be the 5th meeting where we've talked about exemptions.
I know,
Is the American Legion.
right, and this is that unique one.
Yep, you wanna update us on this?
Yes, even though the Legion is essentially not active anymore, they are still part of the Legion and the Legion. So they still own this until it's legally turned, Sean believes there's a document somewhere that says that the land was given by a particular person in town to the Legion to build a building on, and then when they were done with it, it's to go back to the town. So, we're looking for that document, but in the meantime, and because it is the American Legion, they are,
They're
I
exempt.
found the RSA, right,
Yeah,
the
well, let's just move.
7223A says that
we
it's,
exempt them.
thank you,
So, it's all,
you moved it?
yeah.
Does our branch of the American Legion, is it still in existence and in compliance with the necessary corporate formalities and all of that stuff?
There's no,
I mean, it has to be a nonprofit entity of some
it
sort.
is, it is, the American Legion is in its entity, and that's, it's still there, but it has like 2 or 3, I don't know how many members, not many at all. And they're working with the one in, I forget where it is, that the bigger one around here, I think it's actually in Vermont, I think, in Hartford, maybe.
Hartford.
I think it's the Hartford Legion,
Right,
yeah,
anyway,
with
that's-
their people, so they're still a legion.
So if we didn't give them the, break, we couldn't collect anything from them anyways.
Oh, no,
I'm
you'd
gonna
probably,
take off my
you'd be
lawyer
asked to
hat on this
abate
because
it,
it's gonna
so,
just
you'd be
create
asked to
problems.
abate.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what's the difference, you know?
so Ben
But then
moved
it'd be
this,
on the
I will
warrant.
second it. And those in favor of granting the tax exemption for the
Aye.
Legion, say aye.
David, aye.
And Judy, aye.
Tina, right now, who's the record owner of the land?
Commander, Sean O'Keefe.
No, Sean
No,
O'Keefe.
The
is-
record owner, the
Yeah.
American Legion.
The American
American
Legion.
Legion, post 22, I think it is. I'd have to ask Sean definitely, but,
Okay. And we should note, I guess this was filed late, but it's in an ongoing discussion.
you could note that, and it was 100% my fault, because I told him he didn't need to fill it out, because the American Legion never
Never
had to
has.
fill it out. No, they never had to. They
Yeah.
always just didn't have to, then all of a sudden, our assessor says they have to, or they're considered, anyways,
Okay, we got it.
yeah.
This is a notice of the public discussion. Let's hold it for now, until we know if we're gonna put it out. That was in my packet.
Oh, on the 30th, because it's on the agenda, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
that's okay.
confusion.
I believe we are now going into a non-public. Do we have anything else? Dina must have something
I
else.
have an item
I
of
do.
information.
Yes,
I don't know exactly how to phrase this, but folks have come to me to let me know that there are still folks in town who are very upset by the skiway issue, and that's not, in terms of kerfuffle, the rating is still high rather than having descended. So I think the board might want to know about that.
yes, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Well, we had here a thing about the skiway.
I think we have
This is your one, yes, this is one other thing you
one
need
other
to
thing.
do.
We do have
This letter that
a
you're.
draft
decided.
letter. I believe last meeting, we did have the discussion, it's in the minutes, that we were gonna send a letter to Mark at the skiway addressing the additional guardrail opening request, and we've all had an opportunity to look at it and change it and tweak it. Do we still wish to send this letter? David, yes, Ben? Yep.
Yeah.
But
You guys were
thank-
okay with my proposed change?
Thank you very much. It's good for us to know what's happening out there.
We're just asking that if he wants a change, that he supports it with engineering proposal.
He tells us what he wants to do and then he
And,
explains
you know,
why.
our problem is, it's got, the road agents and the police problems has been the deterioration of the road that goes past there, which is very expensive to repave. And it doesn't make sense that, you know, everything gets pushed to the side of that road towards the ditch in the wintertime, and the road further deteriorates. And if they could come up with a monetary donation that would help offset what they want to do, we'd certainly consider that. Is that correct?
Well, of course, anytime somebody wants to help the town with something, I'm sure you would consider it, but I think it's more about safety.
Yeah.
It's a
well,
lot about safety, it's a lot about emergency vehicles getting out there, it's a lot about keeping people from parking in the road, which is a huge issue. That's,
Yep.
that's what I
But,
hear.
you know, I was involved when I remember when the skiway wanted to become a conforming rather than non-conforming issue, and they came up with a plan to make all East Lyme recreational zone, which meant there could have been ski mobiling, touring, and, you know, all kinds of crazy development out there. And we proposed to, after talking to council, to spot zone them, because they were already there, which solved their problem, but, that room, the hearing room on that meeting, every green connected person in Lyme showed up, and the room was, you know, there must have been 200 people from Dartmouth, and so if you're hearing stuff, it's just coming from that group. And there will always be there, they'll always be screaming about anything that they perceive unjust to the skiway. Whereas we gotta work out things that are beneficial both to the town of Lyme and to the skiway.
Simply transmitting information, not saying that this is my personal position. It just, sometimes people talk to me because they know I come to meetings, and I'm just transmitting what people have said
Yeah,
to me.
well, I'm well aware of it, and anything that even is perceived against the skiway will rally a whole lot of green suits.
Well, I do appreciate it, the sharing, because some of us aren't that tuned into it, but we now know.
Yeah.
Anyone watching the video will know. Dina, you have one more thing?
I was just gonna mention that, giving, I can't remember the gentleman's name, it's Mark at the skiway.
Adam Matsky or
And then
something
what
like
was
that.
the other guy's name that came to see
Oh,
us?
I can't remember
Who's the
his
head
name.
of
Dartmouth.
who's the head of real estate that took over from Mr. Kelly?
Mhm.
I think it's important that people realize that they knew nothing. I mean, literally nothing about the agreement with the town of Lyme that we have, that has to do with skiing and ambulance paying and all this stuff. So I guess the point is that they're, you know, they were learning about all this stuff too. And the monetary stuff that Ben is mentioning, back when the road was first asphalted, it was because the skiway traffic, it was a dirt road, the skiway traffic was creating so much mud, the buses couldn't get through. The college ones and or the town one, the school one, correct me if I'm wrong. And so they paid part of the asphalting of that road, the paving of it.
Of course, the
I'm sorry, I
pavement
just
doesn't
didn't
last.
hear you. Dartmouth paid some for the paving.
Dartmouth paid towards paving that road, yes.
Mhm.
So again, with some engineering,
Yep,
some donations, things like that, some of these problems could get resolved. But
Yep.
it doesn't do any good to have people coming in and being all upset about the guardrail.
I have communicated to some of the people who spoke to me that it would be good to have Dartmouth submit some sort of engineering design and discuss whatever their willingness is. And I feel like I'm just serving as a conduit here.
A wise choice.
Oh, yeah, getting in the middle of contentious things is always a good thing to do.
okay, so we're gonna sign this letter to the skiway, and then we're going to move into,
No, you have to talk about the two vehicles.
okay. We do,
Mhm.
what two vehicles?
The police vehicle and the
Oh, the repairs,
highway vehicle repairs, correct.
pardon me.
I would be fired by the highway and the police if I didn't bring it up.
Tell us, Nina.
Okay, so first off, we have the maintenance truck, which is the 250, which maintenance uses and highway uses.
Matt's truck.
Matt's truck. And that vehicle needs extensive, needs ball joints replaced, it needs brakes, and it needs the front drive shaft, and it's the whole U-joint, it's the whole thing, because it doesn't come in pieces, so you have to do the whole thing. So for that, it's 65, the estimate is $6,500. I actually have a written one here, and it came in at $6,081, but of course, that's an estimate, so not sure whether it'll be
Okay, and this,
that or more.
Phil's
Gina,
gonna
you
be-
gave us a bunch of copies of this, but you just need the top one signed, right?
The letter? Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Careful, Mike.
So anyways, yeah. So
Um,
that's for the
Oh, I
two.
like this, previous estimate, $375, revised estimate, $6,081.
That was, it's not the previous estimate for that, that was a previous estimate for a little job. I know, and I said, why is that on there, it looks terrible. So anyways, so there's that.
Mhm.
So then the other thing is the police vehicle, the Ford 150 or whatever it is. Amongst the,
That's a police
he already
truck.
had, right, it's the truck.
Yep.
And it needs a new transmission.
Ooh,
So that estimate is $8,500.
okay,
There was another estimate done also, which came in over $10,000.
Wow.
Um,
so, what's
together.
what's in our fund?
Well, as of right now, because you already spent some money this year from that fund, there is, it's like 14,000, I think, something like that. Hang on, let me find it.
This is the emergency repairs?
Yep. Yeah, you don't have enough. Where is it?
14,000, 15, so we're looking at least 15, and we know each of those estimates may be higher.
Well, you never know, that's exactly right. The issue is, you know, we can't do without either one of those trucks.
Right,
You know, the police are in a jam right now, they only have one vehicle. They really need to get things fixed and going.
well, I would suggest we certainly get the police truck in for repairs and get that going, and then let's try and find money for Matt's truck.
How old is the truck, Dina?
Matt's truck is due to be replaced next year, so it was in,
No, the police truck.
oh, the police truck, it's due to be replaced. Let me look on here. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's 19.
And it's out of warranty, I assume.
Oh, yeah, it's out of warranty, yes. This truck has been every truck, this particular model year has had numerous people that have had problems with the transmission. Within the first week of us owning it, the transmission went, and they replaced it
Under warranty.
under warranty. And I don't know, there was a couple other warranty things that happened. Then the last thing that happened, they thought was the transmission, but it wasn't, it ended up being something different, and that was like, I don't remember how much.
What's the
but
make of the
It's a
vehicle?
Ford. That's why they're buying a Chevy. Uh-huh. So, yeah, so you're a little bit short in that fund, obviously there's not enough, but I would suspect that, you know, it's important enough so that you need to find that money within the operating budget
Yep,
if it goes over in the emergency vehicle.
okay.
Sorry to say.
Yeah,
We won't have to inspect these vehicles after January, so.
I know,
Well, and then, yeah, that's true. And then, the F-150 goes to the highway
right,
also, so it's not
Matt's
like.
truck goes to the
No,
highway.
not Matt's, the
Oh, the
police.
police one, that's
The
right,
police one,
yep,
so that was
The
one of
one
the
where
other.
we're replacing the transmission on it?
Yes,
And it's a.
well, that, to me, that's why would you spend the money if you're not gonna use it when, you know,
if it goes by the
right,
by.
within a year, but you're gonna use it for a lot more.
Phil,
Which
capital
reserve
reserve
fund are we
fund
looking
for
at?
emergency vehicle repairs?
Mhm.
I see emergency equipment
That's it.
with $31,784 in it as of the end of last month.
Right, but we've spent 20,366 this year
Yeah,
already.
okay. So that's gonna be pulled out of that fund already.
Yes, it's 20,000.
Okay, yeah, so you basically got what you said left over.
Sometimes this probably would be worth getting a second opinion on those.
On the
For
estimates?
repairs, because earlier this year, Debbie took one of my trucks to a garage. It was a place where she'd done business before, but it changed ownership and stuff. And she wanted to have it inspected, and they said it needed $2,700 worth of work, all listed out like that. And I said, no, you gotta take it to Baracus, get it inspected, $187.
Well, I do know that they've each had two separate people look at it, or
Companies.
companies, thank you. One is a big company, one is a private, smaller company. That's where it went from 10.5 to 8.5 to the private company.
Yeah. So it's, and you know, a friend of mine who does mechanic work said, boy, a lot of these garages are going out of business when that bill passes, because they won't be able to rip the public off anymore.
Yeah. Sometimes it costs a lot of money to get an inspection sticker. However,
Well, there was nothing wrong with my truck, and it's running fine. It had ball joints and all this same crap that's listed here. There was nothing wrong with the truck.
Well, I'm here to tell you there is something wrong with that truck. You can ask Matt.
Well, I'm just
You can
saying,
ask the highway guys.
yeah, there probably is.
What's it doing?
You'd have to ask them, but yeah, the whole four-wheel drive doesn't work and all
Okay.
that, so.
Yeah.
I mean, he has plowed with it for, plowing with a
That's
truck
hard.
like that, yeah. It should probably be a 350.
it's a little
instead of a
lightweight
250,
for
yeah,
plowing.
yeah.
Yeah, but, okay, so what are we gonna do? I suggested we at least get the police truck done. Do we want to get both trucks done and then figure out where we're gonna find the extra couple $1,000?
Yeah, you need to.
But the other truck I thought we were getting rid of now.
What other truck?
The second one.
Matt's truck?
Matt's truck, well, it's due to be replaced in 26.
And we're not handing that down to anybody, right?
No, we'll probably trade it in.
Okay, so, I don't, does it make even sense to fix it then?
Well, you can't go this winter without one. That's part of the problem.
Yeah,
Does it make sense to replace it early?
You can't. What are you gonna buy it with?
makes sense, yes. Can we do it?
Yeah,
Probably not. Okay,
well, and, you know,
Guys, what do we-
Scott and Tony have both recommended to please do this.
What is the repair estimate on Matt's truck?
60, well, right now, it came back at 6,081.25.
so 6,500.
So the total VIG for both of these things is about 16 grand.
14,
I
15.
came up with a little over 14, but
Yeah.
I used that, yeah.
All right, I'll move it.
All right, thank you, David.
No, second.
Thank you, Ben. All those
With
in
the
favor?
sneaking suspicion that we're getting ripped off somehow.
I'll write
Car
that in.
repair? How could you?
All those in favor say aye.
Ben,
David, aye.
Judy, aye. Okay. And we will be searching for money.
Yeah. I don't know, we might have to put a stop spending on.
Well, we might have to do that. We
Yep.
could stand at the school in the morning when everybody goes to work and with a paper cup and collect quarters.
I just went up
You
to
know
the
what?
Tunbridge Fair, they had the firemen with the boot out.
Yep, did they? I didn't know anyone.
Alternatively, we could just have Tony go out there and write tickets.
Well, we
It
don't,
has to be a special kind of ticket or we don't get the
See,
money.
Yeah, we don't get the money.
we'd be slowing people down and collecting.
See, it's things like that that are gonna get you in trouble too.
I don't care.
all right,
If they're
now.
gonna fire me from a job I don't want.
From a
Yeah,
volunteer
people
job.
listen to these things.
He's waiting. May I now move us into
I'm
non-public
Oh my
session?
gonna get fired from a
Please
job
do.
that I don't want and that I don't get paid for.
Okay,
Yeah, that's life, I've done that.
we're moving into non-public session under RSA 91A:3, Roman numeral 2, some darn little A, B, C, or L if necessary,
Going
which
into
it is. C, hardship abatement.
Yes.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, David. All those in favor say aye.
Ben,
And Judy,
You
aye.
know, before we go